What's going on, my friends? Cubs fan Han here for another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. Isn't it awesome? We can do 2 videos in one day if we need to. Plan is going to be 1 video every day, but when necessary, I may do another one. And today I think it's necessary because those of you who are concerned about cheating in Grand Arena, there is a big win that came through for us today on SWGoH.gg. Now, this actually comes with a little bit of controversy. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and I'll weigh in and give my opinion on whether or not I think that there's something to fuss about here, or if it's just a win and a good thing for the game. So, what I am talking about is we now have a battle log that is hit on SWGoH.gg for Grand Arena. Now, you guys will remember there was a long, drawn-out controversy for cheating in Grand Arena. We had, YouTubers exploiting it, getting banned, on down the line. It got kind of crazy for a little bit, right? And then it all kind of came to a head where CG said, okay, look, we will add a battle log into SWGoH.gg. I was trying to find that post. I actually searched for quite a while. I don't remember exactly where they said it, but I'm very, very confident that they said that. Somebody down below link that post if you remember where that was. In all of my searching, I couldn't find it, but they did tell us they were going to put this in SWGoH.gg, which they have now done. So let's look at this. Now, right now, there is a tab that is showing up for some people. This is my personal account right here. The tab is not showing for me. If you go to your SWGoH.gg account, though, you can still get to it if you go to the top corner here. Here, I'll type this in up here, move this down, and you type in GAC-history. Boom. There it is. It will then show up after that. And so here's what it's going to show. It's got all of these different Grand Arenas. So it looks like it doesn't have anything there. It's got this for the 1129. And it's got 3 matchups. And it shows that I won this one, won this one, won this one. Woo! Yay me! And it will show all of my attacks. And so it shows what I use. Now, the reason why this is a big win for Galaxy of Heroes is it shows you if your opponent cheesed you and maybe cheated. So, for example, I went up against Darth Revan here. This was at the very end of the match. I had nothing left, and I just threw my CLS at it, knowing full well I was probably going to lose, and so it shows that I lost. If that would have been a win, though, and it would have been with, like, Gear 8 Coruscant Underworld Police, then my opponent might look at my profile and go, all right, I'm going to screen cap this. I'm going to send this over to CG. This doesn't look right. And it lets you know, it kind of lets us self-police this a little bit more. Now, there is a lot that could be said for should CG be able to, detect this a little more efficiently. And I'm just not going to get into that debate because I just don't know. I don't know how this works. I don't know. I'm not a coder. That's not my jam. I don't know how hard it is to retrieve that information and have an algorithm detect what's suspicious and what isn't. What I do know is that I know what's suspicious and what is not suspicious. And so I can go in here and I can look and I can figure out if something felt off or not. And if it feels off enough, I can send a screenshot over to Capital Games. What's nice here is you don't just see your own attacks, you can see your opponent's attacks too. And so I can go in, I can see what he used, which is actually pretty valuable information to see, all right, what am I drawing out in all of these battles? When I place this, what do people decide to use against this? You can see here, he used a Thrawn lead against my Karth team with Jango and Nest and Death Trooper. That's an interesting team. Didn't work for him, but that's not a team I would expect. I can go in here, I can see, all right, he used a Vader lead against my Sith team. He used Bugs successfully against my Shaak Ti team. Let's see, Padme here. We used Padme against my Shaak Ti team as well. So interesting. His Padme team failed against my Shaak Ti, and then he was able to get it with Bugs. And then I can see here also JTR versus Jango. That's pretty standard. That actually kind of disappoints me that JTR worked against my Jango with Watt. And so that might be reason to go in and look and say, hey, you know what? I need to kind of beef this up. Something that I wish this battle log included was the gear levels. Now, I know you can go to that opponent's profile. It doesn't link you to their profile, which I think is probably okay, but I could still look them up, or I should kind of have an understanding in the Grand Arena what their gear levels were. I kind of wish it just showed it here, if it could retrieve that data and just show us exactly where it was during the match. Because, you know, for example, this guy, I battled him in round 1. You know, he might have 5 upgrades since then that aren't really, you know, going to give us a good reflection of where he was when he actually hit me. And so that's something that food for thought. I'd kind of like that. Another question I have regarding this is how quickly it's going to populate. I think this showed up today. Now, I am a bit surprised, by the way, that they haven't made a post about this yet. Maybe I'm just super on top of it. I don't know. Maybe they're going to make one soon. But this is like, to me, this is... with all of the missteps I feel like they've had recently, this is one of those things. It's like, look at this. We've got this. This is awesome. This is what you asked for, because having a battle log is absolutely something that the players have asked for in this game. And so I'm a bit surprised they haven't made a post. But anyway, I'm wondering how quickly this data is going to be available. Right now, we've got it available, you know, several days after this round of championships went through. And so is it going to be available round at a time, or are we going to have to wait for all 3 rounds to be done to look at that? I would hope it's available, obviously not too soon. You don't want to see it live, but as soon as the round closes, I think that would be the best time to see that, so you can go in and review everything. So at the end of the day, I think this is a very, very positive thing for the game. There is some controversy though, and this is rooted in what counters people are using. And there are people in this game that are really concerned about their special counter teams being discovered. Now, this is going to be a first world problems kind of issue. I don't want to downplay it, because there are people who put a lot of effort into theory crafting, and they don't necessarily want their theory crafts to be exposed to their opponents, especially at the very top echelon of this game, where you're seeing the same people over and over again. It's kind of like opening up your playbook to another team. You know, in the NFL, there's probably not very many teams that are going to want to just show their playbook to their opponent that they're going to see in a couple weeks again, likely. So anyway, is that a big enough issue? I do know that there are people that are upset about this, and I've seen some comments today, and I don't want to suggest that those people shouldn't be upset. This is kind of a tricky situation to navigate, because to me, the positives outweigh the negatives on this. I think it's a lot more positive for the massive player base to be able to feel comfortable that this game mode has integrity, that they can report cheaters if they need to. Obviously, there's limited trust on if CG can track it automatically. And again, I don't know if it should be that way or not. I'm not a coder. I'm not super tech savvy enough to know how reasonable that is to request. But I know this does it. And so I'm glad to have it. Also, I think for those of you out there that are not hardcore, you know, to go in and see what somebody used against you. You know, maybe I'm struggling with, let's see here. Let's go look at a different matchup here. That opponent didn't do much. Let's see. Oh, this opponent, I don't think he didn't even attack. Okay, oh, this guy didn't attack much either. Yeah, I didn't have very much attacking against me. But okay, so maybe I'm looking at my Padme team, and I'm just wondering, you know, I'm seeing Padme. What are some other ideas of how I could approach Padme? And maybe I'm not super plugged into the community, you know? Maybe I'm not watching videos every single day. Maybe I'm just able to go into my .gg and I see here, all right, everyone's using Darth Revan. In fact, it looks like Darth Revan, I'm even taking out characters on a Darth Revan team. That's actually makes me smile here that he look at that. I took out 2 of his characters on his Darth Revan team. That's awesome. With my Padme team. And so to me, the information is really valuable. It does, I don't know. let me know what you guys think. You know, fill up the comment section below. Tell me how you guys feel about this. Do you feel like it is good for the game to show this or bad for the game? Is it more important for us to have this information or for players to be able to have their counters be proprietary? I think I will let you guys comment below. My personal opinion, I think this is better for the game. I don't think that the concerns of those who don't want to kind of hide that information, I don't think that that's wrong for them to feel that way. But to me, I'm less concerned about that and more concerned about this information being available to the general public and for us to be able to track cheating a lot more efficiently. This pulls that off, so I see this as a win for the community. Once again, my friends, let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, my brothers, don't forget